Woo! Huh. Huh. And I'm the fat man. Just the fat man. Nah, not really. That's a good question. Yes, Kansas City and somebody not Kansas City. Yeah. Let's see if I can find out. Oh, Philly. That's why we couldn't remember. Yeah, that's right. Nobody cares about Eagles. Man, I just got out of jail and I hate the fucking Eagles, man. uh, yeah. I just remember there was a pregnant Rihanna like 80 feet high in the air. I really didn't either. It was just everyone was talking about it the next day. Yeah. First round loss. Well, just last game, and it was his last game ever. It wasn't the losing the family that triggered it. It was losing football. Eh, wow. That's just like saying, you know what? Let's just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. Yes. Well, for certain they were giving up Dak Prescott because at this point they're married to him until they can reasonably get rid of him. And I don't. Well, that in the market out there, right? Well, because and again, you're not going to draft a quarterback because let's face it, you're not going to be high enough in the draft to draft a quarterback. So and then having a I don't know, air quotes stable quarterback is the best thing you can hope for in the NFL right now. So you don't get rid of that. And if you're committed to the other guy, then yeah, Ezekiel's got to walk. Well, yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I don't know their record, but was that ever on Tony Romo's resume as a Cowboy? But I think the fact that you have to go look it up probably says a great deal about Romo versus Dak. But yeah. No, they're not. Well, there was a well, yeah, because for a while there it was looking like the trend of like playboy, party boy kind of superstar athletes in the NFL was going to be a thing. That seems to have gone away because from year in to year out, you don't know what's going to happen. The game is going so fast and so hard right now that one play could be the end of anybody's career. So they'd like to play, nicey nice with the organization, the city, and the fans So that way that is a good reason to keep them because that will generate money. So that's as good of a reason as, as long as you can have average play and good PR, teams are more likely to keep you. I mean, well, at least a team like Dallas, because I mean, while they do need or they do want to win, a Super Bowl, their need to win a Super Bowl is lessened by the fact that they have a brand name in the NFL that spreads beyond the city of Dallas, so they could survive a little bit. Unlike, say, Cleveland. Cleveland's fan base is Cleveland and any expat Cleveland people. Anybody from Florida, basically, or a lot of the people that, move from Cleveland to Florida. That's your fan base. So you got to try to keep them happy. Plus, it's not that you haven't done good, is that you've done really bad for the better part of 23 years. So, unlike Dallas, good years, bad years, pretty average. Some years you go to the playoffs, some years you don't. But, there's always hope there. You could reasonably see getting to the highest, game that there is. a reasonable, yeah, a real. Like, you could actually, say, you know what, if I put money down, I could win. you know Whereas, right. Whereas, like, a Browns fan is like, if I put money down, I might as well spend it on a lottery ticket because it's the same odds. The lottery might be better odds. Hmm. But who's your running back now? Mm. Hmm. Right, but he well, he's gonna have to really jump that learning curve. Because as we've talked about before, the learning curve from college to professional is huge. And there's no real minor league system, not the XFL, not anything. Because the XFL, while entertaining and you hope maybe one or two of these guys can break out of it and get back into the show, it's not a minor league system. You don't really learn in the XFL. Sure. Mhm. Right, but I'm saying is like you're not there to learn. You're there to hopefully get to the next level, by looking better than anybody else on that field. Where, hmm, oh, it's it's the tryouts. It's the video tryouts for the draft. Oh wow. So he's gonna go to what? The Lions, the Colts? Who was dead last this year? Oh no, we got to. Well, just saying which team is gonna get the number one pick this year? Yeah, they were. Who thought that the Jaguars could get better if they just got rid of their two-time national championship winning head coach? Dirty old man. See, that's the funny part with the Browns. We're finally kind of middle of the road and we're disappointed, but at the same time, we're not gonna be watching the draft because what's the point? We're in the middle. We're in the middle of the pack. So we're gonna maybe get some guys in key points, but we got pretty much everything put together. We just need them to actually do their jobs now. We got a few guys here and there, some trades here and there. I don't think we let anybody go major, other than I don't understand this. We let Jacoby Brissett go so we can get Josh Dobbs, who's been a quarterback for us before, but Jacoby Brissett was freaking good. So why did we get rid of him? Because we couldn't afford him. We're spending their money out anyways, and Deshaun Watson says he's gonna, take a reorganize his deal so that way we can have cap space to get other guys. So I don't know, but Aaron Rodgers. The Jets. So you think to improve your career, you should go to the New York Jets. Not the Giants, but the Jets. I mean, he that peyote that he takes must make him think it's back in the 1980s again, because I mean, I don't know. I mean, yes, but the thing is that before he left the NFL, people liked Favre. They liked him. They thought he was a cool person, a good person. It took him leaving the NFL for people to find out he was a dirtbag. He's too busy. He's too busy getting Jets cheerleaders, onto his rascal. Tell me I'm a liar. Tell me I'm a liar. Hey, we've met the guy. You can't tell me that man doesn't have a rascal. Unless he's had a bunch of plastic surgeons carve him up like a turkey. I don't know what you're talking about. I am nothing but a talking head. Literally, this is everything. Yeah, what you see on the video screen, that's all of me. I'm just floating here on my couch. Seriously? Wow, because the first four games the Guardians did were against the Mariners, and they were tough. They were a serious team. I mean, we took. I know they faced off against the Twins and the White Sox. You tell me they lost games to the Twins and the White Sox? I mean, damn. I don't know if they still are, but the last I checked, the Tampa Bay Rays were undefeated. Wow. Wow. Oh, well, we faced the Athletics. Lost one game though we shouldn't have. And I gotta tell you, the lowest attendance of the Mariners game that we played in that opening series was like, I don't know, 30,000. You took all three games that we played against Oakland, and it was under 12,000 people in attendance. All three games put together. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. You're mm-hmm. Right. Like even in the outfield, if it's over $100 in the outfield, it's no. Mm-hmm. And from what I saw last year, I mean, it's nice that it's a domed stadium that because it's going to be, effing hot there in like another week. But the field looks terrible. It doesn't look real, even though they're trying their best to make it look real. And I mean, baseball, because there's 80 something games of baseball in a stadium a year, that kind of money's not going to generate you anything. What you want to do is have people say, you know what, I paid $5 again here. I'll spend $15 for a hot dog. I'll spend $100 on a jersey. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. And well, and here's the other thing too, and I guess this is the big thing going into the baseball talk is with these new rules, on average, game times have dropped by a half hour. So instead of a 3 hour game, you got 2.5 hour game, which means that you are spending less time in a stadium getting concessions. In fact, if the game's moving fast enough, people are probably not even bothering going to concessions now because it takes too darn long. At least I know it was when I went to Guardians games that, it took a while to get a hot dog and a drink, which is ridiculous because it's all you sell in a ballpark is hot dogs. What you're trying to get people to do is to spend a little extra on the crazy stuff, which is fine, but it has to be quicker now. Hmm. Hmm. Right, the two are the club levels, two in the middle. Hmm. 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 Yeah, card. No. Right, but none of that stuff's like hot stuff. Right, none of that. That's all cold stuff, candy. Uh, oh, oh, wow, good for them. Hmm. Right, right, just right. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's gonna have to be the way of the future because if the games are really getting that much faster, then it'll it's not worth waiting in line if you know you're gonna miss half the game. So, but I'll go ahead. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Yep. Yep. Well, I'll say this because the Guardians have this pitcher kid named his last name's Karen. And I remember last year he liked to fuck around so much, in between pitches or in between batters, constantly throwing the ball into the glove, back and forth into the glove, grabbing the rosin bag, flipping his hair. I mean, it was getting ridiculous, and I couldn't believe, back then before these rules, he wasn't getting penalized. And the first game this season, like he timed out like twice, on the pitch clock. And it's like it just drives you nuts to see him screwing around like that. Whereas like everybody else is like, they know what they want to do. They want to get it going. They like the pace. If they absolutely have to slow it down, they give themselves at least another 6 extra seconds to wait or whatever. But they usually don't come close to, timing out. So it's nice, go, go, go action, at least from the pitcher. So now, uh, from the moment the pitcher gets the ball. If there's no runners on base, the pitcher has 15 seconds to throw the pitch. The batter has until 8 seconds left on that pitch clock to be in the box and engaged, and meaning looking at and ready to swing with the pitcher. If there's a runner on base, the pitcher has 20 seconds, and the same 8-second rule applies to the batter. There is 30 seconds in between batters before, 30 seconds for the batter to step into the box and for the pitcher to throw his pitch. So those are the rules for the pitch clock. We've got larger bases now on the infield to help, really, it's to help kind of make stealing bases easier. Essentially, I mean, that's not what they're saying it's for. Part of it, they're saying is safety. Yeah, but really, it's, a little more action on running the bases. I want to say there's another big rule that I'm missing here. Right. So the pitcher can only step off the little rubber plate he has on the mound, twice per at bat. Now that is for either taking a timeout or for throwing over to pick the runner off at first. Here's the thing, and I stipulate this, is that if the first is to try to pick off the runner, if his first step off is to pick off the runner, then the second time has to succeed. And if it doesn't, then it's considered a balk and the runner advances to second. And so does the player. Yeah, well, again, it's the, fuck around and find out. It's what they're really trying to do. The batter at plate gets to step out of the box once per at bat. If he does it again, if he calls timeout after that one time, it's considered a strike against the batter. It's a ball to the batter. Yeah. And from what I understand, there are instances even in this year so far, and the season's about 2 weeks old, where batters have either struck out or walked because of time clock violations. And then earlier in the week / this past weekend against the Mariners, I found out that as far as the pitch clock is concerned, what happens is once the clock hits 0, there is a buzzer that's supposed to go off in an earpiece for the umpire to tell him that the clock has hit 0 and that there's a time violation. So, kind of like delay of game in football, there's sometimes it's not, instant, that as soon as it hits 0 that there's a violation. The umpire does not call it until he hears the buzz, which is being monitored from somebody else. That's the indicator. So again, like the NFL, there could be like a full heartbeat before, oh, that's it, time clock violation. So, and then we found out today that, or at least I found out today, that for video review challenges, coaches have 20 seconds from the time that the play has happened before he has 20 seconds from that moment to call a challenge for a video review. After that, he can't call it anymore for that play. So I bring it up because here was an interesting moment that took, no kidding, almost a half an hour to clear up. Guardians had runners, bottom of the first, runners second and third. Jose Ramirez hits a blooper to center field. Center fielder goes and slides and tries to make a catch, and it looks like he did it. But Jose Ramirez, as he's rounding first, notices that he doesn't catch it. In fact, the ball hits the ground on its way into the glove. So he starts going towards second because he thinks that, he stopped in between second and first because he thinks, do I go? Do I not? Because they called me out. And so the Yankees threw to second base and get the runner that was going from second to third because he didn't tag up. And so, the Yankees think double play, we're out of the inning, it's over. Well, in that kind of chaos and confusion, the coach did call for a review, and it doesn't happen right away. There's some time. So the umpires all get together, video review it. Sure enough, it's not a catch. And so they come and tell the coaches, hey, it's not a catch. Runner goes to third from second to third. Batter goes to first, and there's nobody out. Aaron Boone, manager for the Yankees, is so livid. I mean, he spent a solid 10 minutes yelling at these umpires. And in the middle of that, they throw him out, and he still keeps coming back and forth from the dugout to yell at these umpires. I mean, this whole thing was crazy. So, um, it's not perfect, but for the most part, they get it right most of the time. And so you can definitely see there are moments where there's some confusion about certain things. Um, but 2 weeks into the season, a lot of this stuff's going to get fixed. I will say that I think that robot home plate umpires is going to be a thing, because even now I still see it all the time this season. Things that should be strikes aren't called. Things aren't strikes that are called strikes. It's just too inconsistent, and it's going to mess up the game at key points at some point. So at least with a robot umpire, if it's going to be more accurate and less susceptible to human error. Yes, no more infield shifts. So the rule there is that um you have to have two infielders on either side of second base. And they have to be the shortstop and the third baseman and the third baseman to the left of second base, and the first baseman and the second baseman to the right. And both feet have to be touching the clay in the infield. So they can't be in shallow, left or right field. So, has it made a difference? I'm sure it has, but um, probably not to the point where you're like, oh, this would never have happened if the shift were on. I mean, um, prevent hits. Mm, right, right, and and it does, because of the pitch clock. It does make stolen bases happen more often. Um, yeah, right. Well, you can time it out a little bit, and that's only if the pitcher, it's a lot even easier if the pitcher throws out twice, steps off twice. Then you're pretty much, free to go. But you mean both the pitcher and the catcher kind of know this too, so I mean there can be communication things there to kind of negate that too. So I mean it does add an element of increased probability of stolen bases, but that also means that the pitcher and the catcher have to be more skilled at their job. Just like the shift rule means that infielders have to be more skilled at their job. You don't have anybody backing you up basically, if you mess up. So, um, it does require more skill than it did before. It does. The games are faster, more runs, and every game. You don't have these, one run first innings and then nothing the rest of the game. um, if I could, I mean, if Cleveland weren't so far away, I would have gone to all three games against the Yankees, because they were offering $11 tickets for the upper deck. Yeah, and then and that's a premium game. But so on top of the $11 tickets for the Yankees games, they were offering $50 a month tickets for standing room, but it's like, $50 for every game that month. It's standing room, and then yeah, so given month you get like what, 25 games easy, 25, 24, and so you can make some good use out of that. Well, okay, maybe not 25 or 24, but I mean, $50, you can get a lot of games in for that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the standing room at Progressive Field's $15 district ticket. So you're looking at three, four, no, three, yeah, three games, and the fourth one would make it worth it. So they're trying. So I have to say I'm very disappointed in Guardians fans. Um, the Yankees fans were very boisterous during this series, and I find that terrible that that Cleveland sports fans couldn't come there and drown them out. We got a good team. This is a very good team. It's the early first 2 weeks, and thank God we're getting some of these games out of the way with early, because first series against the Yankees in the first month. Thank God. That means we could focus on teams that aren't quite as difficult, that aren't quite as big named for the rest of the season. And I mean, their Guardians are doing good. They're much the same as last year. They got a couple new players that they really need to get their act together, but this is a team that can create some runs, and they're looking good. So I think we can take the division again this year. i I'm hoping we can go to the American League Championship Series. That would be the next step, and yeah, we'll see. Mm-mm. I don't think so. That would be insane. Yeah, I don't know if you could do that. There's 4 teams per division, 3 divisions. So that's 12, 24 teams. And you've got to play at least your own division twice. So, and it's a 3-game set usually, though we had 7 games against the Mariners. So, yeah, four, four in the opening series, and then we had 3 against them this past weekend. Mm-hmm. So, um, um, oh, did this thing stop recording? Oh, crap. What the hell? Yeah, my Audacity. Oh, crap. Yep. Well, I think maybe the recording maxed out. Sorry, folks. We're trying to learn some new stuff here. I wonder why it stopped in the middle. I wouldn't think so. Yeah. We're gonna focus on this. Yeah, right. Well, hockey, we're about to enter the playoffs. That's the exciting time for non-hockey people to pay attention to hockey and then maybe get into it. Um, really, the NHL playoffs are very exciting. I wasn't into hockey very much for a while there, and then I started watching the playoffs, and it's a lot of fun. And you actually have a reason to watch because the Dallas Stars are in it. Oh, you're exciting. The hockey games are fun because it's never have to worry about being uncomfortable. It's inside and it's cold, so And you get a nice 18-minute break in between periods, so concessions and bathrooms and things like that. I've been to a couple of Columbus Blue Jackets games this year. They won on my birthday, and then we went last week, and they just got absolutely creamed by the Florida Panthers, which is fine because they're trying to tank essentially so they can have a better draft lottery. This is such a. I mean, I don't understand lottery systems. They're so messed up. But I mean, it's amazing that you could be the worst team in your in your sport and still not have the best player in the draft. In fact, there's a good chance, or no, I'm not gonna say a good chance, but there's a chance that the team that wins the Stanley Cup still gets the best draft pick. Yeah, yeah. So it's been rough, but I'm going to be a season ticket holder for the first time next year. For the Blue Jackets, it's quarter season, so 10 games. You get to pick 10 games out of 42 uh, or 41 at the home games, and not too bad, like $90 a month for 2 tickets. We're gonna be over. So for those that you don't know, so the Columbus Blue Jackets, their big thing is they've got a cannon, like an old, like Civil War type cannon. Anytime they score a goal, they fire off the cannon. Our section that we're going to pick our seats are right over that cannon, so we're going to have fun with that. Hopefully some high scoring games we go to this year. Go, oh my god, 7-0 in that game. We like wasted money for these seats. And I'm just constantly surprised with this team this bad. That night we just went to that Florida game, there was a soccer game going down the road. I don't think it was the first home game, but it was close to. There was 19,000 people at that soccer game. There were still 17,000 at the hockey game for a bad hockey game. And so it's really incredible to see how Columbus is a sports town. It's a sports city that loves its teams and supports it no matter what. So looking forward to next season and seeing how we do. And then this year for the playoffs, I'm going to root for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Canada needs a break. Hockey is their national sport, and they have not won a Stanley Cup in God knows how long. It has been a long time. How is that a punishment for them? I mean, who wouldn't want to drown in syrup? Syrup. Diabetics. Yeah. Cartoon drawing of George R. R. Martin on a rascal surrounded by cheerleaders. So you're the stalkers, what? Oh, well, okay. That's a kind of where'd I go? Where did I go? Just the A&M side. Oh God. I was gonna say College Station is a town you can get in some trouble in. No, no. Yeah, I know what happened with the video here, man. You're cutting me out, man. You're cutting me out. I'm getting, more and famous by the minute, and you're cutting me out. You may black out my image, but you'll never black out my voice. What? You son of a And I'm the invisible fat man. Go guards.